And now, coming to you live from the tri-state area and San Francisco, California, it's the best part of Wednesday, Waffle Box, with your hosts, Mike Fish and Kush Hayes.
Welcome to Waffle Box, the podcast where we talk about anything, everything, and nothing all at the same time. Coming up on 182, we're talking the famous Cuddle salons. When are pregnant women not pregnant? What? And plus, Ice Cube's son and the more good-looking Russell Crowe is in a movie this week, in this week's movie review. And much, much, much more. I am Mike Fish, and I am joined, as always, by the main man from San Fran. It's Mr. Kush Hayes. Kush, how you doing, buddy?
What's good, y'all? Kush, Happy New Year, first of all. Kush Hayes here coming to you with the Waffle Box. It is the original Waffle Box. You accept no substitutions. We will not miss a line here. Coming to you all the way from the future home of Super Bowl 60. It is the best part of Wednesdays. You love us because we do this, and we do this because we love you. Producer Lathan, welcome back.
Oh, hey,
Happy New
guys.
Year.
How was last week without me? Did you miss me? Look, I know that I bailed on you without notice, but that was just to get back at you for the week before. Neither of you fuckers told me that we was taking New Year's Day off, so I dragged my hungover ass out of bed, got everything set up, and then nothing. So I think we can consider ourselves even and move on with our sorry little lives.
You know, that's very childish of you, but at the same time, like, what is he, like 2? He's like 2 years old.
He's
so,
2 years old, yeah.
Yeah, we'll give you a pass on this one, dude. But you know, hey, it was in football terms, it's called an audible.
Yeah. You could have just reached out. You could have been, hey, guys, it's New Year's Day. It's a pretty big deal. We're all out partying. Are we going to record tomorrow? And we would have been like, no. You know, communication goes 2 ways, Lathan. That's what I'm saying. Anyway, I've just realized now I can see myself in the Zoom screen. I'm very green today. Like the hat that I'm wearing is not green,
Yeah,
but with
you're
the
very
hood up, it
coordinated.
looks like the hat is also green, but it's not.
It's not easy
It's
being Mike Fish.
And if I was standing up, you could also see I'm wearing a shade of green chinos. I'm very green.
I saw
I'm
you
like-
stand up. You're wearing your khaki chinos. Very, very, very on point.
For those listening to the audio version, I look like, you remember Super Mario 3 when he became a frog?
Yeah.
That's
okay.
what I look like. That's
With a beard.
exactly what I look with a beard. I'm like Super Mario, but full beard rather than the mustache, the
Oh,
porn
your
stash.
beard game is on point these days, dude. It's very thick and luscious. Like, good for you, dude. Most people cannot do that.
Thank you. I had a guest at the restaurant the other day say that I had an iconic beard.
You and President Lincoln, absolutely.
Yeah, his words, not mine. But
Hey.
some people have said I have an iconic beard. Yes.
It's pretty epic right now.
Real quick.
Yeah.
I don't know if it was. I'm sure. Was it happening last week? We have to talk about the elephant in the room. I know you're in San Francisco. You're not in LA, but what the fuck, man? What's been going on over there? Is everyone okay in the Hayes family?
So little sister Hayes was actually, well, they her husband and little doggy Hayes all evacuated before an order was given to her actual current town of residence, and then it was evacuated anyways. She has since returned home as of Saturday, just a few days ago. Some wind damage. She told me she had to sweep a bunch of ashes off of her deck. It's not a big deck, but that's how much must have been on there. So little sister Hayes and family is doing well down in Southern California, but there's a few days where she didn't even know if she was coming home to a house. So that's how crazy shit was. I was just like, hey, I know you're okay, but plenty of other people aren't. Is it? And by the way, you can give to any charity, folks. We'll get into that a little bit more. But little sister Hayes forwarded me some information. The Foothill Unity Center. It's a food bank. Clothes, whatever you can donate, they'll be glad to accept it. And they got a URL, foothillunitycenter.org. All one word, no hyphens, no dashes, no nothing. But Kush, all those people are like 6-figure income. You know what? People lost a home. Don't worry about what they do for a living. Hopefully they all got fire insurance, but that shit takes forever to pay out. And I don't know if if this has actually made it to your your side of the coast there, Mike, home insurance policies have not been getting renewed in California because the insurance company's like, you guys are always on fire. The fuck? We can't just keep paying you guys out every time your house gets on fire. So that's the kind of nonsense that you can expect coming up. The fire is still raging out of control to the best of my knowledge. It doesn't look like it's getting any better. I'm not anticipating it going north of the grapevine. So what I'm saying is I'll be fine. But there's so many down south that are they're now homeless. That's just a fact. Whatever you think their bank account looks like, they're without a home. So just put that stupid shit aside and like you don't have to give to that URL, but there are other charities out there that could use some support right now. So yeah, that's all I'm saying.
Also, not to get too, oh, those people are putting on six figures. Six figures. I don't know what again house prices are in California, but 6 figures could technically could be $100,000 a year. Which hey, it's a nice salary. However, if your house just burns down and you can't have insurance on it, and you have to go out and buy a new house, it's still a hell of an expense. It's still a shitty situation. Let's not start pointing.
And you may not be able to buy a house on that property anymore. That's
no. And then the house market's going to go up because this is like a stock market, and since there's going to be a fuck ton of people all of a sudden looking for a new house.
Actually, land's going to be very cheap. For Southern California prices, the land is going to be very cheap for the next year or two.
Maybe just when you rebuild your house, put it in a bubble filled with water.
Yeah.
It's like a fish tank.
Flat land, dude. It's the photos I've seen are pretty fucking crazy. That don't contain fire, those things are pretty fucking crazy. And there's a lot of people trying to make out of taste jokes. I don't got time for that. However, one thing popped up into my head the other day. We're not trying to offend anybody. I kind of think it's a funny visual if you let me explain in context. Academy Award winner and beautiful woman Halle Berry made a declaration she's going to donate her entire wardrobe to food shelters and all that stuff, which is incredibly thoughtful, very generous. She's probably got a huge fucking wardrobe. However, she's Halle Berry, so even her casual mom panties are like custom made to specifically fit her body. So I don't know who this is going to benefit at all.
So if you're Halle Berry's twin, you're in luck.
Her body double,
yeah,
you're in luck. But then I also start thinking about, like, again, not to bring politics or whatever, like, and again, these folks all hopefully have fire insurance or whatever insurance. But then, like, I just imagined Paris Hilton pushing a shopping cart down the street, but wearing Halle Berry's clothes. Like, I hope that's the most tasteless thing we say tonight. Okay.
Well, we'll see. We're only 8 minutes in. So yes, those links, if you do want to give to people of LA and help people out, the link Kush reminded you of is going to be in the description below. But let's talk about me.
Let's talk about you, buddy. What's going on with you?
Because I'm very selfish.
Epic beard man.
Thank you. Iconic, some people have said.
Iconic beard man, that's right. Okay.
So today I started telling you before we hit record that I had an immensely successful shopping trip today. So I'm going to speed through it because Kush has already heard this story. But today I purchased 3 hoodies, 3 pairs of chinos, a button-down shirt, 2 belts, all for only $105. Pow! Right? It was an amazing, successful day.
Dude, like, I'm jealous.
Go to Primark if you can. If you got one near you, go to Primark. But that got me onto another store. It's in the same mall that we have, the American Dream Mall in East Rutherford, New Jersey. They have a Uniqlo, right? And you have a Uniqlo. You said you haven't been there for a little while. But did they, when you last went to Uniqlo, did they have their witchcraft cashiers?
I don't believe so. I feel like that I would know what the hell you're talking about. I don't.
Right. What they have is the self-service checkouts. So they just have this mini iPad.
Okay, yeah.
Right.
But like at the Target or the supermarket, et cetera, et cetera.
Right. But then next to the iPad, they just have a bucket. It's just a white bucket.
Okay.
There's nothing in it, on it, around it. It's just a white bucket next to this iPad. And you walk up with the 5 or 6 items that you want to purchase.
Mhm.
And you just throw them in the bucket. And within a blink of an eye, all of those items are rung up and ready for you to pay.
Fascinating.
Obviously, there's some kind of sensors, some shit in it, but it's fucking amazing.
Yeah.
A
little terrifying too.
I want to know how this fucking works.
So there has to be a sensor, like you just said. I can also imagine some sort of weight distribution. Oh, this hoodie as a small, as a medium, as a whatever, it literally weighs this much and only this much, and it's this heavy.
Well, no, that makes it if you put things one at a time, you can just literally grab 10 things, just throw them in the bucket, all
Sure.
10 of them at the same time, and it just goes,
it.
bloop, here's the 10 things you purchased. And you're like, correct, magic iPad. That is the 10 things I purchased.
Mhm.
Fucking love it.
Has to be some sort of sensor thing for sure.
I don't like
I don't know how I feel about that.
because they're expensive. Because like, look at me. I just bought 7, 8 items for 100. I'm a cheap guy. I don't want to spend $25 on a pair of socks.
Oof.
But I do want to
Right.
keep going into Uniqlo to use the magic till. Or maybe I'll just go in there, go throw a pair of socks in the magic till, get the warm embrace of the magicness, and then go, actually, I changed my mind. I don't want them. And just walk out. And just return tomorrow.
Totally do that.
I think they'd get annoyed after a while, but
Ugly European.
it's their fault for having magic seals.
European anymore. Anyways.
Before we get in to this week's top stories, I have a question for you, Kush.
All right, I hope to have an answer.
So I was thinking about this because I was listening to the radio and they were talking about the Super Bowl. Super Bowl was coming up pretty soon.
Super Bowl 59, one before 60.
And Kendrick Lamar is playing the halftime show.
Oh, okay. Didn't you do that already?
No, he's doing it this year, and I think he's just
Oh,
gonna...
like he hopped in on someone else's set, right?
Maybe.
Like the Dr.
Dre.
Dre.
Yeah, I think he might have done that. Yeah.
Okay. I'm sorry to interrupt. I'm doing that all the time.
But I do feel that maybe Kendrick Lamar is just going to take up the entire 20 minutes doing 20 minutes worth of Not Like Us, because that seems to be one of the very popular songs out there. But anyway, it got me. They was talking about what other musical artists or groups would be good as a Super Bowl halftime show that haven't done one yet, right? And the first one that popped into my mind was Linkin Park. I think Linkin Park could be a very fun, energetic Super Bowl halftime show. But then
they've got hits for it. Sure.
Imagine hits. But then I remembered, obviously, R.I.P. Chester Bennington, no longer with the group.
Oh. Doesn't he have a daughter that's running the show now?
No, it's just some Scientologist woman that's...
Okay.
Oh, did you not see the hijinks and the backlash and oh my God, she's a Scientologist?
I heard a burp about it, but yeah, I wasn't paying attention.
Not to bring up that again, but it got me to thinking, not that there's any way we can enforce this legally, but do you think if for any reason, whether it just be musical differences or unfortunately sometimes death, if a member of a band is no longer in that band, should the band be able to continue on with the same band name? Because technically it's now a different band, there's different members in it. And I kind of lean against, no, it should, they should, I mean, obviously it's their choice, but I just think, especially when you're talking about a lead singer,
I mean,
it's not Linkin Park anymore.
If you're going to pose that question, and it's actually a good question with a good situation, but you also have to take into account anytime a band member gets replaced. He's not dead. He or she is not dead, but like Guns N' Roses had like 2 or 3 iterations before it became the Guns N' Roses that you remember. And then it changed a few more times, and to this day they swap out drummers just depending on what part of the world they're in.
No one gives a shit about Duffy.
Oh,
it's all Axl and Slash, baby.
Duff knows more about Seattle football than you and I know about anything, and then he knows more about dinosaurs.
Seattle football anyway.
Oh, I thought you were Seahawks.
What's a Seahawk?
It's a giant pelican.
Well, I'm just a giant, baby. New York Giants, go Big Blue. I'm sitting here with the New York Giants Super Bowl championship towel on the
Check out
background
your Sports
and
Illustrated.
Giants Pride banner, and you dare to believe that I was a Seahawks fan?
I just thought it would be a funny thing to say.
5 years we've been doing the show. Fucking Seattle Seahawks wearing.
Anyway, my point is,
the uniforms are
okay,
pretty cool though.
a band isn't always the same band, you know. Like, so
exactly.
How are we taking this?
So they should change.
So why should we change the name every time fucking someone ODs?
Because it's a different band.
It doesn't have to be though.
But if Guns N' Roses no longer has Slash, it's not Guns N' Roses.
But they were missing Slash for a while, and it was still a Guns N' Roses.
No, it wasn't.
No one wanted to buy that album.
Exactly, it was a shit album. No one gives a shit about it.
And we don't talk about that. However,
what about Velvet Revolver? That band. That was basically Guns N' Roses, but with a different lead singer. Why couldn't they just call themselves Guns N' Roses? I know legally they couldn't, but you know what I'm saying?
Because legally they couldn't. Yeah, otherwise, they probably would have just called themselves Guns N' Roses.
Guns N' Roses 2, Electric Boogaloo. Maybe they should have done that.
2 Roses.
There we go. Get Vin Diesel involved.
Oh.
Family. Maybe do a featuring with Ludacris. Have the whole band.
Oh. That's a cross.
And then The Rock and Jason Statham pop in a couple of albums later and ruin everything.
I bet Statham knows how to play the guitar.
No, he's more of like a bassist. He looks like more of a bassist.
I let him play the bass.
Rock being the roadie, he can carry some shit.
Rock's just gonna be the roadie.
He's just carrying everything. It's the drum set.
He's got the necklace of laminates from all the cities he's been in.
Yeah,
it's like, hey, how you doing?
Doing the shaka every time, just constantly just doing this to no one. Hey, what's up? What's up, brother?
And out backstage passes to all the cutie pies.
All the poontang pie he can desire.
Well, he doesn't get to touch him because he's the roadie. He gets to hand out the booty pass.
True. Hey, I have my own shampoo. You haven't got any hair. Doesn't matter. All right. I'm still using the Rock's shampoo and conditioner.
Yeah, I imagine that's going to be there for a while.
It does smell nice. I'll give him that.
Okay.
Do you reckon the Rock smells nice? I bet he smells nice.
Depends on, did he just get out of the gym?
True. But just generally.
I don't know. My man is pissing in bottles. I can't even look. I would be surprised to hear if he is actually taking a shower after his 20-minute sweat out or whatever, you know, like just that man is either taking 15 showers a day or he takes like 1 a week. So yeah, I don't know.
Maybe it's like Sting. Do you remember when it was Sting who just went au natural?
Yeah.
Who just went, I think he just washed in, he used water, but no soap or anything and no shampoo.
Oh. Yeah.
And he was like, eventually the body's natural, blah, 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 eventually neutralizes him, blah, 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 blah. So that's bullshit.
Nah, dude,
you smell,
you're
no one's saying anything
people.
because you're rich and famous. That's all.
Yeah. See, that's a problem that I have. No, we're not. That's not cool, dude. You're surrounded by like 40 people minimum a day, and that's before your performance. Like, wash your fucking ass, dude. Ew. We got onto this. How? The band.
We was talking about
someone died.
Should Linkin Park still be called Linkin Park? And now we're talking about the Rock's ass.
We're talking about Sting's ass, but yes, let Linkin Park continue to be Linkin Park without their living band member. You don't have to buy any of their music anymore.
I won't.
Okay then. But I will solve that.
Just watch me.
I will watch you not buy any of their albums anymore.
Enjoy that. While you get a view of my iconic beard. Anyway, let's move on to talk about the things that have been going on in this crazy, wacky world. It's now time for this week's top stories.
It's now time for this week's top stories.
Bubbles.
Firstly, we are diving into the heartwarming world of Alexandra Kasparek's cuddling salon in Poland.
This is in Poland. Okay, that I didn't hear, but also, uh, we're going to let you get to the story, but this is weird.
Yes. So
Please
picture
continue.
this. A
I'm
place
picturing
where the only thing on the menu is a human embrace. And it's in so much demand that they've got a wait list longer than the director's cut of Lord of the Rings.
it. Oh,
Imagine
fascinating.
going for a job interview where the main question is, how good are you at hugging? I'm
You
a
better
pretty
be
good hugger.
showering for that shit. Yeah.
But yes, this isn't your typical spa. Instead of facials, you get FaceTime with a human pillow. And now she says it's strictly platonic,
Mhm.
but this is Poland. I've been to Poland. You tip. You tip well.
I
Yeah,
mean,
man.
that's just human nature. You tip well anywhere. Well, the rules can be bent a little bit.
Uh,
Um,
she, she says her clients are mostly in their 40s to 60s, and they say they find
okay.
comfort here, proving that sometimes all you need is a good hug. So if you're feeling
You're not
lonely,
wrong.
head over to Poland, get yourself a cuddle session.
So they've
Thoughts?
been doing this in Japan for a while. This isn't a new thing. They've been doing this in Japan. I want to say there was probably even a spa in Southern California. Um, I'm sure it also got closed down because people got very generous with the tips. But I
Hug and
think its
tug.
intentions started well, and then people were just like, "Fuck, this guy really wants me to hug him."
Let me hug his phallic member with my mouth.
Um, but yeah, this isn't anything new. It's still weird, but like when you hit me with that age demographic, I'm like, oh yeah, people are dead, divorces have happened, the kids hate you. Like sometimes you just want a fucking hug.
But at first, I must admit, at first I was like, seriously, like you have to pay someone to hug you, like. But hey, there are people out there who are in certain situations, certain life circumstances where they are lonely and they just need a good hug, right? And they don't have necessarily someone in their life to give them that hug. But
Mhm.
then I thought, if you have if you have the disposable income where you can pay someone to just hug you, why not just go full board? Why not just go balls to the wall
Uh,
and really get hugged? That's what I'm saying. If you want to
Forget about the
feel the warm
legality or the
embrace of
morality.
a woman or a man, go to
Forget
Pound
about the
Town.
legality or the morality of the whole thing. People don't want to get fucking diseases. That's just the point of it. And protection ain't 100%. Not to throw anybody under the bus, and I will not name names, but a friend of mine was very, very liberal when it came to ladies of the night, especially in the afternoon. And just
Afternoon delight.
got a lot of afternoon delight. Would not shut up about it. Would not. It's literally an addiction for him. And then over the holidays, we were just hanging out, and the subject came up again. He went, "Kush, a doctor had to laser a thing off my pecker," and I was just like, "Oh, well, one, sorry to hear that, but also like, why are you surprised? Stupid. You brought that on yourself. Like, duh. Yeah, no shit. A doctor had to laser something off your dick. Stupid.
Oh boy.
We got that earlier.
Yeah, look at that. Soundboard's back. Also, speaking of getting something sickly, so in the small Italian town of Belcastro, Mayor Antonio Toscia has pulled off the ultimate health campaign by officially banning illness.
Oh, well, that's
Yeah,
nice.
that was
I
easy.
like that. It's illness is against the law. Good. Stay out
So
of town, illness.
yeah, so apparently it's a very small town. So the nearest emergency room, 45 minutes drive, and the local
Uh,
health center is apparently as open as a nun's vagina. This mayor decided to fight back with humor as he declared that no one is allowed to get sick, period. It's legal. Apparently, this is very much an old age pensioner themed show tonight. So apparently, in this town, half the population is over 65,
mhm.
and apparently, this is just a stark reminder of the healthcare crisis in the area. So if you're planning a trip to Belcastro, remember to pack your vitamins and leave your germs at home, because getting sick there is now officially against the law. Bit stupid.
Yeah, that's dumb.
Like I get maybe like
Incredibly dumb.
like maybe it's just like trying to be, hey, get it, it gets law, but seriously, can you like start washing your hands and covering your mouth when you sneeze and shit? Like,
It would be
but
nice, right?
but it sounds like this mayor's got too much time on his hands.
I,
Like, 'cause I bet there's some PR company getting some posters and shit like that put together for this, banning sickness.
the mayor's in his own bubble, and he's surrounded by people who actually like, no, that's funny. That's funny, Mayor. You should totally say that out loud in public to people who are fucking dying every day of old age. Fucking idiot.
Finally, this week in China,
China.
there is a fantastic new craze sweeping the nation in China, where
China.
young ladies are getting their pregnancy photo shoots out of the way before they're even pregnant.
Oh, fuck off.
So yeah, so there's this craze where what they do is they rent a fake baby bump, wear it, and then get pictures of themselves as if they were pregnant, because in a stunning display of preemptive vanity, they are concerned that by the time they actually get pregnant, they won't look as attractive and they'll look all old and unattractive. So what they're literally going to do, so they're not posting these pictures now. They're saying, say I'm 26, I'm going to take these photos of me and a baby bump, and then maybe in 10 years when I actually get pregnant, going to dust these bad boys off, post them to the gram. And people are like, wow, you look amazing.
Oh, that's nothing.
Wow, you look, what kind of filter is this? Because in person, you look 10 years older. The fuck is this? This is fucking dumb. What the fuck are people doing?
They've got money to spend. Yeah, that's all I got on that. They got money to spend somehow.
Especially in it's stupid, right? Because if you surrounded yourself by Asian women, and I know they're not all in the same breadth, but in where I live, there's lots of Filipino people, lots of Korean people, lots of Japanese people, lots of Chinese people, and I fear there's a trend, right?
Well,
and if there are any people of the Asian persuasion watching or listening and want to correct me, feel free. But I feel like I'm right in this. Right? What happens is Asian women, when they're 20, they look 20.
mm-hmm.
And then when they're 30, they look 21.
Yeah, right.
And when they're 40, they look about 25. When they're 50, they look about 30. Still looking good. It's almost until they get, it's like around 68-ish, they just fall off a fucking cliff and look 90. Look like a raisin that's been left. They just all of a sudden fucking age. All the aging comes in once.
All the aging comes in. Yep, yeah.
It's bizarre.
It's a strange set of genes. It's not all Asians, but it's also like I know several people like that who are like, wow, you're 44, you look like you're 20, as Mike Fish has been alluding to, and then they turn 45, and all of a sudden they look 50, and you're like, what the fuck happened to you? Like it is amazing how that happens.
It must be some, or maybe it's because they say, was it black don't crack?
Black, that is a phrase.
So maybe is it just us?
Same thing happens to the folks that match that description. Eventually, when they do crack, they shatter.
So is it just us whiteys that get fucked over with the aging process?
No, Kirk Douglas looked amazing at 100.
That is
and I was
true.
like, Jesus Christ, dude, I hope I look half as good when I'm 100. I'll probably look like a Nazi, fucking Indiana Jones movie with all bones and like, no, like, God, it's just this one specific set of genes, and it crosses the entire rainbow. But Kirk Douglas, that dude, look, Dick Clark, I think he only passed away like a decade ago. That man looked amazing until he turned 89. And then the year he turned 90, he looked like he was 150.
Dick Clark's the guy who used to do New Year's Eve, right?
That's right. And his name is still in the fucking
Oh
title
yeah, was it New Year's Rockin'? Nick Clark's New Year's Rockin' Eve with Ryan Seacrest.
with Ryan Seacrest. Yes, sir.
What happens when Ryan Seacrest dies?
They probably just changed the name entirely.
Dick
I would be
Clark's
surprised
New
if they
Year's
changed
Rockin'
the
Eve
name.
with Ryan Seacrest starring.
I wouldn't be surprised if Ryan Seacrest buys the rights from the Dick Clark estate to just call it New Year's Rockin' Eve with Ryan Seacrest. Like,
Oh, I'd hate that day. That'd be a dark day in the human life.
oh, it's whatever, man.
But yeah, congratulations to those white people that do age well. Because if you're watching or listening to the audio version, I dare you to go to the YouTube version and look at my ugly mug. I'm turning 40 this year. And whenever I tell people, "Oh, I'm turning 40 this year," the shock on their face, they're like, "Wait, you're still in your 30s? Good lord, Jesus!"
So I look like a worn belt. However, since the pandemic ended, several people that I haven't seen in years to decades are like, dude, you don't age. Like you still look the same. How does I was like, the trick is looking like you're 40 when you're 18.
Yeah, my brother had that.
Yeah.
He's always looked in his mid-40s. So no,
Yeah,
it was pretty good.
I was the only one of my friends who was able to buy up without a fake ID. Like, not every place was 100%, but like I knew where to go, and I'm just Josh with them. Like, yeah, I would say words like Josh with them, which is an outdated phrase. So that's how I was able to buy up for everybody. Um, Nowadays we get carded everywhere, and I get it's an insurance thing, but I get so pissed. I I tolerate it, but sometimes I'm just like, really, dude, look at me. All right, if you think I'm under 21, then I definitely need this booze. Shut up and take my money.
Yeah, we have the New Jersey state law is if you suspect someone looks like they're under 30, you have to
Yeah.
card them.
36 out here, and I definitely look older
that's
than
very
36.
specific.
Yes, it is. And I still look older than 36. And they're like, I need to see your ID. And sometimes some places actually have to scan the barcode in the back. And I'm just like, I just hand them the barcode now. And some cunts actually still have the nerve to go like, yeah, I guess that's him. Okay, here you go. Like, no, I don't take this as a compliment. Who the fuck would I be right now? I'm not fucking 16 anymore.
You know, I caught someone with fake ID right the other day.
Oh, yeah, restaurant, bar. That'll happen a lot. How'd you do? What'd you do?
What I do? Well, one, the tip off, right? Here's a little, maybe I shouldn't be letting people in on this. But if there's four of you and you're all gonna go get a fake ID, make sure you don't all have the same date of birth. It's one, that's a giveaway. Like the first one, I was kind of like, I could believe it. And then the next one, oh, the same birthday. And the third one, oh, they have the same birthday. At that point, I was like, okay, this is bullshit. But I thought, just for giggles, I'm going to see if the fourth one's the same one. Yes, all four celebrate the same birthday. And suffice to say, they did not get alcohol that evening. Poor them. Dumbasses.
This will drive you crazy then. Every year on my birthday, me and at least one other person, but we've gotten it up to 4 people that share all the same birthday. Like we're within hours of each other, same year, everything.
I actually went to school with 3 people. This will freak you out. I might have mentioned. I shared a birthday with another gentleman at my school. Exact same birthday.
Yeah.
His name was Michael Fish.
No way.
We had the same birthday and the same fucking name.
That's fucking interesting.
See, that's why we could never go out drinking together, because people would not believe that.
Yeah, right.
Checking their IDs. Like, Jesus, how lazy are these cunts?
That's pretty amazing, actually.
There we go. Wow. Anyway.
Yeah, I mean, 365 days in the year. Some personalities are going to cross the same day.
Same fucking name? That's weird. Anyway.
Yeah, that's weird.
Anyway, let's move on. So some people that didn't achieve much in their lives. Some people who have. It's now time for this week's Dumb World Record of the Week.
Why?
Why? Why would I? Why? Why?
Why? Why? Why? Why? Why would you want to do that?
This week's Dumb World Record comes to us from somewhere on Earth.
Okay.
Doesn't say
That holds
where,
up.
or maybe I didn't. Oh no, it's Nigeria. It's Nigeria.
Ooh.
Well, because the person that broke the world record, Liz Sanya, is a British Nigerian. So I was like, fuck,
Okay.
is it in Britain or is it in
I
Nigeria?
correspond with a prince from there all the time. Lovely
Oh,
fellow.
that poor guy. He just needs a nice friend to help bank his money.
Mm-hmm.
Someone's help him out. Link in the description below. A British Nigerian designer with too much time on their hands, if you ask me, has decided to make a sandal so big that it could double as a boat. Working for 72 hours, she crafted this pink monstrosity. If you Google it, it's fucking... At Pixel Park in Lagos, which is in Nigeria.
Mm-hmm.
This sandal measured 26 feet long.
Oh, fuck off.
10
That's a
feet
kayak.
wide.
That's a kayak. What's
This
the fuck?
kayak. Successfully breaking the Guinness World Record for world's largest sandal.
You can't even lift your entire leg to walk forward in that. You literally just carved a foothold in a boat. Oh, Guinness, how dare you?
Surely you should get this, because if it's going to be the world's largest sandal, it should be workable as a sandal.
Yeah. You can't walk down the street in that.
Like, remember the world's largest toothbrush? I mean, it'd probably destroy your face if you try to use it as a toothbrush, but it worked, and you could use it to, like, I remember they were saying it's like to clean the sidewalk and trim hedges and what I can't remember exactly, but it worked. This sandal does not work.
It brushed stuff. Yes, I get it. Oh my God. Yeah, Guinness. I'm calling shenanigans on you, Guinness. This is dumb. Like, this would have been incredibly helpful during the pandemic. We're like, look at this person overachieving. Like, no one's within 6 feet of this person and their sandal kayak. Like,
yeah,
you can't get near this person. You have to like walk. You can't even walk around this person. You have to walk over him. It's so crazy.
But it would be handy at the beach. Could you imagine it just like walking on the beach, then walking towards the water, and then you just suddenly walking on water?
I feel
like,
until
Jesus.
you get to the water, like you're having the worst time traveling on the beach. Like, have you ever like just pushed a boat in the sand? No, not easy.
Not lately, I'll be honest.
Yeah, I don't recommend it. I don't recommend it. If you can avoid it, please do.
So, Liz Sanya, congratulations on becoming a new Guinness World Record holder. However, Guinness World Records, shame on you for allowing this to go ahead, because it's not a working sandal. No human being would be able to put this 26 by 10 foot thing on their foot and walk.
10 feet.
10 feet wide.
I'm 6'1". Okay, like 10 feet. Like, you can't even walk into a room. Doorways are not that wide.
It's ridiculous. Although it does ensure that people take their shoes off before they enter the house.
But what happens when someone steals your sandal? You're like, oh my God, someone's
You'd see him. You fucking see him, wouldn't you?
Yeah, I guess so. All right, yeah, fair enough. You got me there.
Excuse me, officer. Someone has stolen my sandal. Which one? Well, that one who's dragging it slowly away from my house. Him and
Did
20
you ever
friends.
see the kids in the hall?
What?
The Kids in the Hall. It was a Canadian sketch group. It was loosely affiliated with Saturday Night Live. Very loosely. Funny group, lots of drag humor and all that, but they actually had a character called Mr. Canoe Face, and it's literally just a dude dressed like a lumberjack, a Canadian lumberjack, but there's a canoe on his fucking head. And the joke is he can't walk through doors and he knocks people out all the time. Very quick sketches. They're like 30 seconds, 45 seconds. That's the joke. He's Mr. Canoe Head. Kids in the Hall. Funny stuff. If you haven't seen it, look it up.
Bullshit.
Anyway.
Oh, fuck you.
You're talking bullshit.
That wraps up this first half of this week's Waffle Box. What a half it's been. We have all learned something today. Still to come, this week's birthday, Blackjack, Kush's movie review, and much, much more. We're off to fill up our drinks. Stick around. We'll be right back after this short commercial break.
You want to up your running game? Run like a caveman. Finally, shoes are getting back to nature. Toe shoes. You were born barefoot, your ancestors ran barefoot. And now, toe shoes allow you to run barefoot, but with shoes that look like feet. Slightly deformed, web-toed, brightly colored feet. Just like our ancestors that died at 25 of rickets. They're like wearing no shoes at all, as nature intended. Toe shoes. They're shoes for toes and twats.
So, and then she's got a sign where it's like, we'll twerk for food. And it's just right there on Wilshire Boulevard. I promise you, this is funny.
That bitch will do anything for food.
See, it was dumb.
Place your bets. It's now time for birthday.
Well, now you spoke over the jingle. I can't cut it out.
Also like to live dangerously.
Amateurs. Anyway, welcome back to Waffle Box episode 182, and it's now time for January 15th edition of Birthday Blackjack. Kush started off the year last week in miserable fashion, starting off I think scoring like 50-something points. Starting the year.
Yeah, that was last week, wasn't it? That wasn't even the
week.
season. That was the season opener. Oof.
Woof. If you've never played Birthday Blackjack before, it's a nice game where we learn. We talk about 5 steps to celebrating their birthday, but to give you the official rules and writings and how it all works, Blue Lathan, take it away.
Well, the rules to Celebrity Birthday Blackjack are pretty simple. Mike is going to name 5 celebrities that are celebrating their birthdays today, and all you have to do is guess how old they are now. Your score is based on your margin of error. For example, if the celebrity is 50 years old and you guess 53, you were 3 years out, so you score 3 points. If you're lucky enough to guess their age spot on, you get to deduct 5 points from your score. And to win, all you need to do is keep your score at 21 or below, hence why it's called Celebrity Birthday Blackjack.
Yeah. Thank you, Lathan. So yes, as I say, if you are playing along, you can let us know your scores in the comment section below. If you are watching the YouTube version, if you are listening to the audio version, hit us up on Twitter at WaffleBox or Blue Sky at WafflePod. Anyway, Kush, are you ready to redeem yourself?
Oh God, I hope so.
Are you ready to guess some
I'm
birthdays?
ready. Let's guess some birthdays.
Number 1.
Celebrity number 1 is American conservative political commentator, a man that constantly looks like he's just sucked on a lemon, host of the Ben Shapiro Show, Mr. Ben Shapiro.
Yeah, so I know of Ben Shapiro, and I only know of Ben Shapiro because of all the people who hate Ben Shapiro. Then they pay attention to Ben Shapiro, and it's a weird cycle, folks. You don't like a guy, you don't have to pay attention to him. But
He really hates the gays.
Well, I mean, that's his problem. So, but yeah, he's younger than me. So he's definitely younger than me, so I'm gonna say he's 36.
36 is your official guess. Well, Ben Shapiro is hopefully got a big one planned because he's turned a big 40. 40 years old.
Okay.
Today. Happy birthday, Ben Shapiro.
Yeah, he had a problem with a rap song, and then everybody started like questioning how he sexually pleases his wife, and I was like, why is that your business? It's dumb. People are
It
dumb.
is. No, and this will be number 2's man known as Mr. 305, Mr. Worldwide, and the Bull Tony Montana. It's Pitbull. How old is Pitbull? Mr. Worldwide.
I actually thought this was MVP Montel Vontavious Porter for a second. I believe he's the real Mr. 305.
He is the
anyways,
305.
Pitbull. I feel like me and Pitbull are within the same age range, so I'm just gonna say 45.
45.
Yeah.
But Mr.
He's
Worldwide.
not spring chicken anymore.
No. Apparently he's got 6 children.
Okay, sure, why not?
So much time in your hands. So you guessed Pitbull was 45. Pitbull is actually 44.
Hey, all right.
Ooh, not too bad. So that pushes your score up to 5. Lots of wiggle room. Wiggle, wiggle, wiggle room. Wiggle, 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 wiggle. So number 3.
Number 3.
Son of Vincent Kennedy McMahon, and the guy that just loves to jump off things. It's Mr. Shane McMahon. How old is old Shane O'Mac? Here comes the money.
Yeah.
Here comes the money. Money, 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 money. Dollar,
I
dollar.
believe me and Shane are within the same age, so I'm gonna go with 45. He might actually be closer to 50, but I'm gonna say 45 anyways.
45 is your official guess. Mr. Shane O'Mac is actually 55 today.
Oh shit. Okay. Oh, good for him. That guy's actually got a fascinating story, and he never tells it. What little things I've picked up from him out of interviews and just passing bys, like that dude's got a fascinating story. He should do something with that.
Could be totally wrong, but from little breadcrumbs that I picked up,
Probably
I
the
get
same
the
crap
feeling-
I'm talking about.
I got the feeling he really fucking hates his dad.
Oh,
There we go.
there's definitely a thing there. Anyway,
Yeah, that could be a whole another
that's a whole other thing.
Number
That's
4.
fathers and sons.
Celebrity number 4 is actress, director, producer, and an Academy Award winner, Miss Regina King. How old is Regina King?
Oh, she is 46.
46, going straight in there. Miss Regina King is actually 54 years old.
Oh, good for her. See, this is that example we were talking about in the first half. Like, you could have told me she was 28, and I'd be like, yeah, sounds right.
Which takes your score up to 23.
Oh,
which
for
means
Dang.
you need to
Thank you,
get
Shane O'Mac.
this one
Spot on.
spot on.
Mm-hmm.
While you're starting 0-2 for another poor start of this season. So pay attention.
I'm paying attention.
Take this seriously.
This is for real.
Stop slacking, you slacker.
Standing,
Number 5.
sitting on edge at attention. Sir.
Back with the ball, you get the horns. Is that the same movie? Is that Slackers? And the, I don't know, doesn't matter. Celebrity number 5. His music loves to go womp, 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 womp. He is the king of dubstep, Sonny Moore, aka Skrillex. How old is Skrillex? You must know Skrillex.
I know
Fucking
of
love
him, and I know that song that you were trying to impersonate. Like, that's the only song I know of him. It was on WWE stuff for a minute and a half, too. Yeah, anyways, there's a whole... Anyway, 40. The man is 40. I'm already 23, so he's either 40 or he's 72.
We're going with 40.
40, please.
Mr. Skrillex is 37 today.
All right.
Which means, although you did much better than you did last week, unfortunately, Kush, once again, you're a loser.
It's a rebuilding year for our franchise. Okay.
Yeah, you thought you got the franchise quarterback in the draft. It just didn't happen. It didn't happen. Not yet, anyway. It's still working, man. It's still warming up to the offensive line and all that.
It's fine. It's the second week of the year, the second game of the year. It'll be fine. It'll be fine. We had a bye week at the top. It'll be fine.
Yeah, it'll be fine. Anyway, it's now time for you to really get into your Serengeti, into the place where you feel comfortable, all warm and snug. We're about to enter Kush's world, because Kush is about to review a movie in a segment that we like to call Kush's Movie A Review.
Kush's Movie Review.
This week's Kush's movie review is Den of Thieves 2 Pantera, a movie where a group of scallywags who thieve things go to a Pantera concert and steal things from people's pockets while they're in the mosh pit. The end.
All right. Yeah, close. Yeah, pretty close. Pretty close. Pretty close.
3 out of 5. See you next week.
We are talking about Den of Thieves 2, Den of Thieves, Pantera. It's rated R. It's a light R, actually. It's a very light R. We'll get into that later. It is 2 hours and 24 minutes. That's a whole 4 minutes longer than the first one was in 2018. Excuse me, 2018. Which, when I looked that up, I was like, it took them 7 fucking years to do this? Okay, we'll get a little deeper into that later. This is written and directed by a man named Christian Gudegast. Kind of like Budapest, but Gudegast. And maybe I'm not even pronouncing that correctly. So, and it stars Jerry Butts and Ice Cube Jr. Coming into this, I already had a little bias going against it because I did not like the original Den of Thieves from 2018. I thought Mr. Budapest, who also wrote and directed that one, he was like, what if I took all the dope scenes from Heat, and then Michael Mann's Heat, and I took the twist and the plot of The Usual Suspects, and I made a movie. And going by that, I was just like, this is whack, and it's unnecessarily long, and the action is good, but it took forever to get to the action. And then the twist, I was like, I guess I should have saw that coming, but since I didn't, I still wasn't blown away. Like, I gave the original Den of Thieves a 2 out of 6 when I was reviewing things on a scale of 6. Den of Thieves Pantera, once I saw the trailer for this, I was like a little optimistic going. I was like, all right. I kind of like the premise. Again, the cast is fine. You know, Ice Cube Jr. is growing into his role. Jerry Butler, that man is in bad movies, but he's never bad in that movie. I think you might agree with me on that one, Mike Fish. Anyway, casual shrug. That's fine.
That's fine. Sorry.
That's okay. That's okay. So Den of Thieves 2, it's a slower film. It's a lot more character building. In the first movie, it was just like, hey, there's this kid, wet behind the ears, and he's trying to get into bank heists. And then you got Jerry Butler, and he's got his former college football gang, and for some reason they all got badges, and even worse, they got guns, and they are all as crooked as the day is long. So you had that dynamic. It was bad guy versus badder guys. This one, it's just like, oh, okay. The premise is Jerry Butler is going through some ill shit back at home. He's got through a nasty divorce. In theory, no one on the force respects him anymore. For some reason, Ice Cube Jr.'s whole scheme in the last movie went so well that the Federal Reserve doesn't even think it's missing money. And he was like, check the books. I literally shot up all of downtown LA because this man was carrying over $100 million in cash on his back. Like, check the books. Like, there's no money missing, Jerry Butler. Like, I'm telling you, O'Shea Jackson didn't do nothing. All right.
Sure, you'd notice that missing.
The premise was they stole the cash that was due to get burned.
Ah, that old chestnut.
Yeah. And you know, on paper, you're like, all right, yeah, that's an interesting plot. All right, yeah, that's a good motive. And then whatever happened. And we're not talking about Den of Thieves 1, we're talking about part 2. So Jerry Butler has finally traced down O'Shea Jackson Jr. to a town in France because there's always another heist, Mike Fish. And O'Shea Jackson literally robbed some airport in Germany and just out of an entire plane full of safety deposit boxes. He busted into one safety deposit box and then he just took one envelope out of like 50. Very specific reason. They burnt no time. Blah, 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 blah. And Jerry Butts gets on the trace, finds him in France, and he's like, you know what, man? I've been doing this job so goddamn long. I'm tired and I got no pension. And hookers slash strippers are trying to blackmail me now. I'm joining your crew, dude, and we're going on your next heist, which is already crazy. It's pretty fucking stupid because these plans are very meticulous down to like the minute. And so just adding one guy, even this early in the game, is just like, nah, they ain't doing this. They're definitely not doing this. But once we get past all that, fucking get past that one detail, it's Ocean's 11, it's Fast and the Furious, it's a very slow Fast and the Furious. It is a couple other movies that you've already seen. However, I left it enjoying it a lot more than I did part 1. Am I looking forward to a part 3? I don't even know if we'll get there. Maybe it'll just end up on Netflix someday. I don't know. I found Den of Thieves Pantera very good. There's supposed to be a twist at the end. It's not really of a twist. I think that's just more bad editing because you're just like, yeah, that's right. This was a job. This was that job. Why are we surprised here? Again, they toned down the action by a lot. They turned that dial down and they turned the character development up. I appreciated that. Like, yeah, I enjoy Gerard Butler and O'Shea Jackson Jr. just sitting at this little French fry restaurant at France at 4 a.m. after a bar fight and just like, yeah, grew up in LA. Oh, I grew up in LA. My dad did this. My dad did that. Like, just good character development. Long story short, yeah, not a high body count. It is not the same movie as that first movie. There's no downtown gunfight. There are guns in the movie, but they're very lax on firing them until that final chase. So just go in there knowing that. Anyways, I am giving Den of Thieves 2, Den of Thieves Pantera, 3 out of 5. Yeah, Mike called it at the beginning. 3 out of 5. I wish it was better. I'm surprised it was as good as it was.
So was it called Pantera?
That is the code name for, I forget if it's the police squad in France or the crime ring, but it's Panther. Yeah. They're Panthers. It gets brought up a few times. But yeah, Pantera is the name of one of the squads. I think it's the crime squad.
How is Ice Cube Jr.?
He's a little puffier in this one. Success has been pretty good to him. He's put on a few LBs and they ain't weight related, or unless he's just not burning off his creatine. So I was, before we went into this thing, I looked at a scene from the original movie. He is slender for Ice Cube Jr. in that movie, and this one is like, oh, that could be Ice Cube right now. Note about this movie: this was apparently supposed to be in production in 2019. I think they got some stuff filmed, but then there was a pandemic. And then when there wasn't a pandemic and everybody's schedules realigned, then there was a writer's strike, which doesn't really affect anything, but then there was immediately an actor's strike. So that shut things down even more. So like this movie could have come out in 2021, 2022. So that's why there was so much distance in between the films. In this one case, I think time was very kind to this. So yeah, again, I liked it a lot more than the first one. Am I looking forward to a third one? No, but I'll check out. I might change my opinion if I see a trailer for a third one. I did on this one.
I mean, can't go wrong with like two guys and lots of guns and pew pews and things
I mean,
like that.
there's an entire European cast I didn't mention because I can't pronounce most of their names, and I've never heard of them before this film, but I'm sure they're all somebody in their regions, and they do a very good job backing up, supporting Gerard Butler and O'Shea Jackson Jr. To the point where you're like, oh yeah, you again, I'm bad with names, especially foreign names that even the subtitles aren't helping me with. But you
Pepe Le
recognize
Pew?
people like, oh, this is that guy, and that is that guy. Oh, that guy and O'Shea had a beef earlier, but now they're cool. Okay, good. Um, by the way, I did notice through Facebook groups, some people are going into Den of Thieves 2 without any subtitles because there's not a lot of English in this movie. By the
Oh,
way, I would actually say 45, being generous, I would say 45 to 55% of this movie is in other languages, sometimes French, sometimes Farsi, sometimes Italian. This is
ciao.
an international film. So yeah, so my theater is very liberal with the subtitles. Unless there was a translator there for dramatic effect. I saw a lot of subtitles. That doesn't affect me at all. But again, I saw some posts where they're like, were there supposed to be subtitles with this? I didn't know what the fuck was going on. And I was like, that's going to be a problem for some people. I don't know how it's marketed, but double check before going into this.
Make sure if you're gonna see Den of Thieves 2, Pantera, you get subtitles. Otherwise, you have no idea what the fuck is going on. Unless you speak French, Italian, and all that good stuff, then you'll be loving it.
Dude, I tried to show the family one holiday. Rob Reiner's, was it Rob Reiner? Whatever. The Walk. I've brought up this movie before. Joseph Gordon-Levitt plays this French trapeze artist who flies a tight wire across the World Trade Centers like months before they're open to the public. The world goes crazy. Lots of fantastic special effects. Tried to show it here at home on some streaming device, and because I like to read closed captionings, like sometimes just a dude mumbles or whatever, and you don't know what the fuck he said. There's some movies I've seen decades repeatedly, and I have no idea what a guy says until it's like, oh, he said that? That's so weird. Anyways, because we kept the English closed captioning on, half of that movie is in French, and anytime they were speaking French, no subtitles. I was like, what the like? I know what's happening in this movie. The rest of my family has no idea what the fuck is going on, and they're falling asleep now because they don't speak French.
To be fair, you made the fuck up there. If you're gonna show your family a Rob Reiner movie, Spinal Tap. That's the only Rob Reiner movie.
That is a good one. That is a good one.
It's great.
They're for some reason
Anyway,
making a sequel to the sequel.
wait, there's gonna be a Spinal Tap 3?
So I'm glad you said it that way, because no, they're calling it Spinal Tap 2. Despite the fact that, yes, Mike Fish, there is already a Spinal Tap 2, Break Like the Wind, which came out in the mid-90s, and nobody saw it. I didn't even see it. I saw a music video or two, and I was like, I don't know if I want to see this. I probably went to go see Fear of a Black Hat instead.
But the film you're talking about, that's been rumored for years, isn't it?
Well, those rumors have spiked up again, and they're actually in the legitimate trades. It's not at joeblow.net and gasstationfarts.com. It's literally on Variety and the True Hollywood Reporter.
So 2 years ago, I remember getting excited about Spinal Tap, the new Spinal Tap being released.
I mean, it's a fake documentary, so they got to collect all that footage.
True.
Have you ever seen the 3-hour edition of the original Spinal Tap?
No, but I want to.
It's amazing.
I bet.
If you can find it, I would recommend you do. I saw it obviously here in San Francisco. I had to go to a video shop, a video rental house that doesn't exist anymore called Le Video. And their whole thing was, yeah, we got all the new blockbusters and all that, but then we've got like all these foreign films, but then we got some shit that's not even available on VHS that maybe we scanned from a laser disc that's out of print, and now it's on video cassette. And we'll rent that to you if you just shut the fuck up. So they somehow got their hands on a copy of a 3-hour director's cut of Spinal Tap. It is funny. It's so funny. It's twice the movie. The original movie is like 89 minutes long, 92 minutes long. So fucking funny.
Puts everything in perspective, doesn't it? Well,
There's
too much.
a whole scene where they talk
too
about
much fucking
groupies.
perspective. Fucking love that movie.
Yeah, there's a whole scene where they talk about groupies, and then the camera just slowly pans, and each one of them has a cold sore on some point of their face. They're like, "Yeah, we don't like groupies. Groupies are they're terrible for business. We're like a role model to the kids." And like Nigel Tufnell's just got this big.
Marvelous. Well, there you go. This is Spinal Tap. 5 out of 5.
6 out of 5. Spinal Tap is that good.
Speaking of, where we said apparently Den of Thieves 2 Pantera was supposed to come out several years ago. Speaking of another sequel that is years in the making, I'm very excited about. Real quick before we wrap this up, it's not a movie, it's a TV show. Comes out this Friday. Severance season 2. Are you excited?
Oh, no, I haven't seen the first season, but people who've seen it love it.
It's great. You should watch it.
Okay.
That's the end of that chapter.
I saw Shrinking when I had my
That's
Apple
great
TV
show as well.
subscription. I've only seen the first season, and I enjoyed
there's only
it.
one season as far as I'm aware.
There's a second season coming. I thought it was already out, but no, there's definitely a second season in the works.
So much good stuff to come forward to. There you go. So there you go. Pantera, Den of Thieves 2, Pantera, 3 out of 5. This is Spinal Tap, 6 out of 5, and Severance season 2 coming out this Friday on Apple TV. Go see what, because it's a pretty fucking weird show, but it's fucking good. Woo. Anyway, let's wrap up this week's show in a nice little bow and make everyone feel all warm and fuzzy inside. It's now time for this week's feel-good story of the week.
It's the coolest fucking story I've ever heard in my entire life. That's insane. Can I hear it again?
This week's feel-good story comes to us from Houston, H-Town, I believe they call it. But Post Malone. Are you familiar with Post Malone?
Yes, I also get him confused with a couple different overweight Caucasian musicians who play a guitar and have face tats, though. I'm not trying to be funny. Racist. I'm not trying to be funny. I'm not trying to be a racist. There's like 3 guys right now that I could confuse for Post Malone.
Jelly Roll? Are you gonna get Jelly Roll?
Jelly Roll for sure. Yeah, I know of Jelly Roll. And then there's another guy.
I don't know.
Maybe it's just the 2 guys then. I don't know. No. Was Post Malone in the Roadhouse movie?
No, that's Patrick Swayze.
No, I'm talking about the new Roadhouse movie.
No, you're thinking of
the opening scene.
You
Not Jake Gyllenhaal, obviously.
Thinking of Conor McGregor.
Not Conor McGregor. No. This is the opening scene.
You are thinking of, I don't know. I can't
That's
remember.
fine. It doesn't matter. I know of Post Malone. I'm sorry.
Post Malone, famous white guy with face tats, as Chris Woods, turned Christmas Eve into a memorable day at the Rail Yard Bar in Houston by leaving an astonishing $20,000 tip for a single mother, Renee Brown, who was working as a bartender. Brown, facing financial difficulties and the emotional strain of missing Christmas with her daughter, was overwhelmed by Malone's kindness. The singer's visit was already special as his bill was covered by friends and other patrons, but he insisted on being charged a nominal fee just so he could leave the generous tip. The act of generosity came at a time when Brown was feeling particularly down about not being with her child during the holidays. The unexpected financial aid from Malone not only provided immediate relief, but also significantly lifted her spirits. The gesture has since been celebrated as a testament to the impact of kindness, especially during the festive season. I hear these stories quite a lot, but it's always nice to, and because
we can't hear enough of these stories, honestly.
Yeah, because
and good on Post Malone.
I have it on very good authority that many celebrities, not that they have to, tip generously, but some of them tip really shit. I'm not going to mention any names, but like in
there was the one guy who tipped with a DVD box set of his TV show, and shit. Maybe he was just out of cash that day. That happens, but also just like, how do you not get expected called out on that? And I'm not like a big tipper. I'm very debatable about the whole tipping thing, but yeah, that wasn't it that day, bro.
No.
So
I'm always see because I'm in a trade. I'm not going to judge anyone.
I understand.
I'm in trade. I believe in karma, so I always pass it forward. I always leave good tips, no matter what.
I know the people in the service industry are like really good about that stuff, like to the point where some of them are even over tipping, and I'm just like, you are also struggling to pay the rent, man. Like, you don't need to give this guy 35% tip. It'll be
the universe. You have got to put it out into the universe, Kush. You got to put out that positive energy.
No, you should also. Employers should also be able to. We're getting way off the line here.
But no, I'm just saying
there are jobs I understand where tipping is essential. We can get into that whole things too. So great on Post Malone. Like this is a beautiful story. That's what we should be focusing on here. And I ain't mad at any of that. And God bless him. Yeah, all the gods bless him.
But yeah, we could get into it because what industries do you tip? What industries don't you tip? Like the guy
the family liquor store has a tip jar now. I'm just like, what? You don't have to work here. Yeah.
No, it was like my oil change guy. Every time I go get an oil change, I'm like, do I tip or do I not? I don't tip my oil change guy, so I'm sorry if we are supposed to.
We're in that kind of society though, where you're questioning if you should though. So that's a problem. Like,
but here's maybe I only tip when there is an opportunity for someone to go above and beyond.
Interesting.
No, so for example, a good server. Oh yeah, well, I literally the second I was almost done with my drink, he was there or she was there, ready. Hey, do you want to have a drink? Or it was very attentive. Boom, great tip. You get a good tip. My barber does a very good job on my hair.
Yeah,
so I tip him a little bit. Whereas the oil change, it's a very black and white thing. You either change my oil or you don't. You just get it. So I'm not tipping you.
Yeah,
I think that's fair.
I get into this. So yeah, the restaurant server, absolutely. The pizza delivery kid or the food delivery person in general, yes. I absolutely tipped the weed guy. You mentioned one person there that actually stood out. It wasn't who do you tip again? The barber. Definitely tip the barber. It's his business, and maybe he can just like, but also maybe it's not his business, and he's literally renting that chair, like that. He pays some dude $50 to sit on this chair and cut your fucking hair. All right, that's a whole thing that I get.
And also there's a saying of don't upset someone who's bringing you food. Don't upset someone who's cutting your hair.
Yes, and yes. So for the most part, I try to do 20%. You know, if it's something brought to the house, you know, $2, $5, whatever. You know who I was the most generous with my tips?
Prostitutions.
No, definitely not. No, the shoe shine guy. There was a shoe shine stand by my house.
Look at me, I'm Mr. Kush Hayes. I go to a shoe shine guy.
Ooh,
We used to have a Nordstrom's.
look at me, big
Where
rich
now a bowling alley
businessman.
exists.
I pay someone to shine my shoes. Shining my own
Well,
shoes
yeah,
is
dude.
above me. I pay
It's not. But if I wanted it to fucking look mirror shine, this is the dude to go to, and he charges nothing. He would charge me like $10.
I bet you specifically go to restaurants with valet parking.
No, I don't drive, so.
Or you just go to valet parking, take off your shoes, and hand them to me. So I'll be back for these.
Weird.
Make sure they're shiny, sir.
You're going into a weird place with this, dude. Where I'm going this
I always do.
This guy is literally focused on my feet and my footwear. So like, and he's charging me the least of any of these other services. Like, he's not. He should be charging more. So I always make sure to give him 100% of a tip. Nordstrom's is now closed. The shoe shine stand is wherever it is, if it even exists. So it is not a thing in my life anymore. But I'd love to go into the shoe shine stand. And by the way, I got a little military record, so it's not above me to fucking shine my own fucking shoes. You cunt.
How
That's
often
my
do you
one cunt
wear
for the day.
how often do you wear shoes that require shining?
My boots. My goddamn boots.
Your work boots?
Yeah.
Oh, that makes sense. I think the only times I ever wear shoes that require shining is when like I'm unfortunate enough to be invited to a fucking wedding.
So like dress shoes and me don't work. One, I'm not gonna spend that much money for a pair of shoes I'm gonna wear once every 5 fucking years.
And they hurt every fucking time you wear them.
And they hurt every fucking time you wear them. No, the boots I wear, I can wear them with jeans. I can wear them with a suit. Like as long as they got a proper shine to it, like no one is gonna give a shit.
Are you wearing them right now?
Yeah.
Let me see how shiny they are.
They are not very shiny.
Oh, you need to go see a guy.
He doesn't exist anymore. I just explained that to you.
Wait, he's dead?
Where his stand was is closed. And we weren't best of friends, so I didn't follow up. And he was also an elderly Filipino man. So I would hope he's retired now, assuming he's still breathing since the pandemic.
Or he's a postman now.
Ooh. Shots fired.
For those that don't know, Filipino men fucking love being postmen.
Yeah, that's not one of our things out here.
Is it not?
I mean, I'm sure there are Filipino postal workers here, but yeah, our guy is Japanese. And sometimes he's an entirely different dude, I guess, when that guy goes on vacation. No, our Filipinos here are resident nurses.
Yeah, of course, yep, standard.
Boxers, pool players, and then karaoke
masters. Yeah.
Masters, yes.
Yeah, it's healthcare or postal worker. That's the only thing Filipinos are allowed to do in the East Coast, apparently.
They can't even play pool? That's a shame.
Hey, what they do behind closed doors is none of my business.
They're very good billiard players. They're very good
boxers. I get my mail on time. There you go.
Wow, we went all over the globe on this
one,
Kush.
Anyway, thanks, Post Malone, for tipping.
Thanks, Postman Malone.
Postman Malone. Look at that. Here we go. Full circle. Never episode 182. Oh, we're so close to episode 200. It's amazing.
What's that gonna be about April?
18 weeks, 17 weeks from now. 18.
I guess some May.
Yeah, that sounds like it works. Of course, if you want more of Kush's dulcet tones, you can go to his full archive at kushhays.com and just build yourself. So much so that
you told me once upon a time there was like 12 straight days of you and I on the Waffle Box. There's at least 15 days on kushhays.com.
What a month that could be.
Oh my god. You might go crazy. You literally might go crazy if you listen to that much Kush Hayes. I still want to say again, Foothill Unity Center, foothillunitycenter.org. It's a food bank. They're accepting clothes. They're accepting whatever donations you can afford to give. You don't even worry. You
don't have to be Halle Berry. You can.
Don't have to be Halle Berry. But people's
It helps.
livelihoods and lives just got ruined. So forget about our bank statements and just help where you can. There's insurance, but what if there isn't?
You hear that, Post Malone? Anyway,
He's probably affected by that shit too.
I don't know, probably. Anyway, that wraps up this week. It's a very good night from me. It's a very good night from Kush. Lathan, anything you want to say before we wrap up this week's show?
I'd just like to end this week's show by giving a quick shout out to those people staying strong throughout their dry January attempts. Sure, everyone is now realizing how boring you are, and your social circle will become essentially non-existent, but at least you feel better waking up in the morning. Am I right?
Yeah.
No, it's not going to be all that, Lathan. You
playing that shit.
Lathan's going through terrible twos, apparently.
So cranky.
He is a little cranky.
That's
all right. He'll learn.
And go to enjoywafflebox.com for all the links where you can support the show. You can listen to archives, full archives. You can buy a merch and all that good stuff. Appreciate you. But until next time, take care of yourselves and each other.
That's all, folks.
Pay me off, Johnny.